You know that feeling when you walk into a room and it just feels perfect? Not hot, not cold, just right. We kind of take it for granted, but behind that feeling of perfect comfort, there's some seriously clever and often totally invisible engineering at play. So let's pull back the curtain on the invisible engineering that makes it all possible.
I mean, really think about it for a second. How do you actually deliver precise, custom comfort to a huge, complex building? We're talking dozens of different spaces, and every single one has its own unique needs. It's a massive challenge.
For instance, you might have a building like this one, all modern, with these huge glass walls. The sun is just beating down on one side while the other side is still in the shade. The cooling needs are changing literally by the minute. Or what about a busy shop or a restaurant? You've got heat pouring off of refrigerators, all the lights, and a constant stream of people coming in and out. The demand for cooling here is just intense, and it's completely different from, say, the quiet office right next door. And then, of course, you've got our homes. The bedroom needs to be cool and quiet so you can sleep, but the living room might need a bit more oomph when you have friends over. Different zones, totally different requirements.
So when you start adding all these different needs together, the architectural, the commercial, the residential, you end up with a really complex problem. We like to call it the modern cooling puzzle. How do you possibly solve for every single one of those spaces at the same time?
At its heart, the problem is pretty simple. A restaurant, an office, and a bedroom just can't be treated the same. It's obvious, right? So these old traditional systems that try a one-size-fits-all approach, they're usually inefficient, super bulky, and they just don't deliver that customized comfort that we expect today.
But what if the answer wasn't to keep adding more and more systems, but to find one single system that could do it all? Well, that's exactly the idea we're jumping into now. One system that gives you total control. And this is the core idea behind the Voltas MultiMAX system. It's actually a beautifully simple concept. You have one single, powerful, and really intelligent outdoor unit that acts like the heart of the whole operation, and it powers this entire family of different indoor units. I love this slide because it shows it perfectly. Think of that outdoor unit on the left as the engine. It's the workhorse, the powerhouse, and it provides all the juice for this whole range of specialized tools. All those different indoor units you see on the right, and each one is designed for a very specific job.
So let's pop the hood and take a closer look at that engine, the outdoor powerhouse. We're going to look at two key numbers that give it such incredible power and flexibility.
Okay, first up, 100 meters. Now that might just sound like a number, but what does it actually mean for a building? Well, it means the outdoor unit can be placed up to 100 meters away from the indoor unit that's farthest away. To put that in perspective, that's about the length of a football field. For architects and designers, this is a game changer. It means total freedom to hide the unit away, maybe on the roof or behind the building, without messing up the design.
All right, next number up is 16, and this one is all about the system's incredible scale. So get this, a single outdoor unit can connect to and power up to 16 different indoor units at the same time. That's enough to handle this huge mix of spaces, from tiny individual offices to massive open-plan living rooms, all running from just one central source.
Okay, so we've seen the powerhouse. Now let's look at all the specialized tools it can run. This is where the system's flexibility really shines. There's a style for pretty much every space you can imagine.
So, the first choice you get to make is all about aesthetics. Do you want your cooling unit to be seen or unseen? You can go with a classic, visible wall-mounted unit for really direct, efficient cooling, or you can go for a slim duct unit that is completely hidden away in the ceiling. And this just shows you the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got that highly effective wall-mounted unit. But on the right, well, you see nothing, and that's the whole point. That's the magic of the slim duct unit. You get all the power with none of the visual clutter. But it's about more than just looks, right? It's about function. How do you need the air to actually move? For a big open room, the four-way cassette is perfect. It spreads the air out evenly in every direction. But for, say, a long hallway or a narrow room, the one-way cassette gives you a much more focused, targeted stream of air.
You can really see the smart engineering at work here. The four-way cassette on the left is designed for maximum coverage, great for a big square room. The one-way cassette on the right is engineered to solve a completely different problem. It's all about using the right tool for the job.
So, this kind of thoughtful, clever engineering, where does it come from? It doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's built on this really deep foundation of expertise and trust, what we're calling the Voltas Legacy. See, Voltas is part of the Tata Group, which is this massive global company. And their mission, as you can see right here, is all about improving quality of life through leadership with trust. That's not just some corporate slogan. That core idea guides every single piece of engineering.
And this is a legacy that goes way, way back. The Tata Group was founded all the way back in 1868. Voltas itself came along in 1954. So this isn't some new kid on the block. This is a global company with decades of experience, serving communities in over 100 countries.
That history has built an absolute giant of a company. Back in 2021, its revenues were $103 billion. That's not just a big number. That number represents scale, stability, and a level of reliability that you can really count on. So when you put all of these pieces together, the power, the flexibility, the history, you get something that's much more than just an air conditioning system. You get comfort, completely reimagined. So let's wrap it up. What are the big takeaways here? First, incredible power. One unit runs an entire building. Second, unmatched flexibility, with over 100 meters of piping for total design freedom. Third, a huge variety of indoor styles, so there's a perfect fit for any room. And finally, it's all built on a bedrock of heritage, a legacy of trusted engineering that goes back for generations. You know, they say the best technology is invisible, right? It's the kind that just works and you never even have to think about it. So the next time you walk into a space and feel that perfect sense of comfort, maybe you'll think about that invisible engineering, that single powerhouse and that smart network of solutions all working together seamlessly just for you.